Hi, this is Murray from Second Time Tech, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about mixers and a little bit about microphones. And I did find out that I did something a little bit wrong whenever I was testing out the two microphones, and I did post-production on it, and that made them sound closer to what they are than what they really are. So at the end of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the two microphones again so that you can actually hear the background noise on them, as opposed to not hearing the background noise on them. But first, what I'm going to talk about is the mixer that I have. And the mixer that I have, of course, is the Behringer Q1002USB, which is the unit over here. And I was going to replace it because I found out that it didn't have a couple of things on it that I wanted on it whenever I was doing the microphone tests. And that was a mute switch so that I could quickly change between the two microphones as opposed to having to adjust each one like I'm going to do a little bit later. And there's a few other little things that I didn't have on this mixer here that I wanted. So I did reorder that other mixer that I was talking about before. It's the Behringer 1622 USB, if I'm not mistaken. And it was basically the same technology as what's inside this one here, using the same preamps and stuff and whatnot. And I found recently that that one there is about 8-year-old technology, maybe even a little older, I'm not sure. And it has the same DAC on that newer Behringer model that I was going to get, which is 16-bit and 48 Mega Hertz sampling. And the thing that I really liked about it was it did have the mute switch on each channel, and it had faders on it instead of potentiometers. So you slide a fader and you turn a potentiometer. So it's a lot easier to do the adjustment whenever it's a fader. It's on the more professional models than the ones that I have. Now this Behringer is still on at Amazon Canada for $139 if I'm not mistaken, rounded up of course. And in the show notes I will put the prices in for Amazon Canada and Amazon US. And the Behringer X1622 USB, it was $289 for that one. And so I had it ordered and I thought, yeah, this is going to be the one, even though it's not exactly what I want. Okay, I'll get that. And then I started looking around again a couple of days ago, and I thought, no, it's still not the one that I want, and it still wasn't finished ordering yet, so I could cancel it if I wanted to, so I canceled it, and so I decided not to get it. And then I started looking around again, and I was on Amazon US, and I was looking at theirs that were on there, and then, because they have more models, and then I checked it to see if it was on Amazon Canada. Well, I found out that they have a model that is called the Alto Professional, and there's a couple of different models, and this one is called the Live, and it's an 802. Now, this one in the States was $229, and then there was a bunch of other money added onto it in order to make it like bring it into Canada and pay the customs and stuff like this and whatnot. And it ended up being around $310 US. Changed that into Canadian, and it basically ended up being around $400, somewhere in that range, which was way higher than what I thought. I didn't want to spend that much on it. And so I went to the Canadian site just to see how much it was in Canada. And luckily, it was on sale, which was wonderful. And it was on a good sale. And it might still be actually right now because I only ordered it yesterday. And it was on sale for $299.99. Now, the original price on it was $450. And I was wondering why I didn't see that one before when I was looking at the mixers. Well, I never looked above about $360, I think was the maximum that I was looking at. So I never actually seen that model because at that time when I was looking, it was $450 for this thing. And when I saw that price, I went, oh my heavens. That is an awesome buy. And so I read everything that I could on it. I checked as many videos out as I could on it. I went online and read reviews on it. And I checked all the little options and stuff when I was on it. And I found out that it's only about 2 or 3 year old technology. So it's not as old as the X1622 USB. And I also found out that it had better preamps on it, like a lower noise floor from the preamps. And it also had a better DAC on it. And the DAC that I wanted to have was, I wanted to get a 24-bit DAC. Well, I found out that that's what this had. And it sampled at 96 megahertz. And so that's nice too. That's basically what I wanted. When I was looking at that other Behringer audio interface, the one with the Midas preamps on it, that's what it had on it, except it would go up to, I think it was 192 Mega Hertz, if I'm not mistaken, for the sampling. But it didn't do the recording properly on the channels. You couldn't use like a fader in order to put it on the left channel and the right channel, and then either or a pan, on it. So that's why I didn't get that one. And there was no adjustments on it at all either. It was just on or off and how much level you want it. And it had very little in the way of telling if you were clipping or if you were putting out proper signal and stuff like this. So I didn't want that one because of that reason. And that made this one look good enough. And it was also $20 or $30 cheaper. And another thing that I found out about this other model there that I've ordered now, the Alto Professional Live 802, is that it's smaller than the Behringer X1622 USB. It's about, I think it's like 8 inches narrower and about 4 or 5 inches shorter. So it's like fits more to a small studio like what I have. The also thing is it only has 8 channels. It doesn't have 16, which I didn't need 16 anyway. And on those 8 channels, it actually has 5 mic inputs, whereas the Behringer the 1622, it only had 4. But I would never use that many anyway, so it didn't really matter. But the other channels, you can use them as line or mic anyway, so it doesn't matter that much that way. But I am very eager in order to get this thing and to try it out and to show you what it is. I want it to be able to do a comparison between the two, but I can't because I have to send this back today, the mixer that I have, in order for it to meet the deadline to get back to Amazon Canada in order to get my refund on it. So that's basically what I want to tell you on the lines of the mixers. Now for the microphone, I'm going to do it different this time by not doing any processing on the audio at all, except for maybe raising the gain a little bit so that it is the same level as the first part. Because as of right now, I am going to take off all of the noise reduction on it. Like I said, it still have a little bit of gain on it, I'm sure. Usually I have to add like probably about 2 or 3, sometimes 4 dB of gain on it in order to get it to the same level. The first part I'm going to clean up and do it the way I was doing it before, but now I want it to be as non-processed as I can. And then I'll do the same thing on the other mixer that I'm going to get tomorrow, and I'll put that up on Thursday. And then you'll be able to see the difference in the quality of the mixer by not introducing as much noise as what this mixer does. So right now, you have been listening to my Neewer NW7000, which is this one here. And now, if you excuse me a second while I change the line levels, I'll be talking on this one. Which is the Neewer NW1500. Now, I tried to put them as far away, well, equally as far away from my mouth. I just eyeballed it this time. I didn't get a ruler out, but it's pretty close. And I just want you to hear the difference in the sound of the mixer in conjunction with this microphone, which is the NW1500, and then this phone here, microphone, which is the NW7000. Now, I noticed whenever I was doing post-production on it before that this one sounded nicer than this one did in the way that my voice normally is. I found that this one made my voice sound higher and didn't give me the low notes that I have in my voice normally. Whereas this one gave me the low notes much better than what this one did. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see that or hear that right now. So what I'm going to do now is switch back. Just 1 second, please. There. Now I'm back talking on the NW7000. And that's basically all I have for now. I've noticed that the video is almost 14 minutes long, but I did want to talk a little bit about what I was going to do. And if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe, please. And I would like to wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.